Okay. Okay. Recording is in.
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to tonight's Town of Pompey Planning Board meeting. First of all, I do apologize for the delay in our start. We had a few technical difficulties, but I believe we're all set and appreciate those helping out to get us rolling on that. First, if we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We are holding this meeting in person, but we are also live streaming it, and it is also being recorded. Introductions, new people that we want to welcome to our staff. First of all, our new code enforcement officer, Tim Gainey, in the back there.
Everybody.
Bob Rodriguez is here kind of helping, finishing up, helping out, transitioning over for Tim. So we appreciate all the work that Bob has done. And our board secretary is here for her first meeting, Mary Beth Zaris. Okay, welcome aboard, Mary Beth.
Thank you.
See me after. Okay, from that on.
She's very good. She wrote that down. See me later.
Yeah. Let her see. No. Anyway, okay. Other than that, our town engineer is Steve Snell, our attorney for the planning board, Jamie Southman. I myself am Sue Smith, chairman of planning board. To my far left, Roy Smith, no relation. Next, Dan Bargavas, Carl, I always mess it up. Fahrenkrug. Okay, it's not Smith. So, and Kevin Corson. Josh Shaheen is not with us this evening. And we have one board opening currently. So with that, first on the agenda is scheduled for Carol O'Hara public hearing, 3988 Henneberry Road, parcel number 013-01-28-0 for a 2-lot subdivision. We had our preliminary review last month. Ms. O'Hara, come on forward.
Mm-hmm. Just a correction, the address is 3488.
Noted.
Yes.
3488. Yes, in the review, we did have some questions that you're going to do a little bit of homework for us and wondering what you found out on that, and looking also for the corrected survey and maps.
Okay, I have some maps for you from the surveyor. You want some?
Yes, please.
Okay.
It's Steve a copy. So
Yeah. You got these last Friday? When did you get these?
I picked them up today.
Which, for everybody else's benefits, what we had asked for on it were location of driveway cuts, the topography lines.
I think they're probably there, Sue.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
stating it for everybody else's
Okay.
benefit.
All right.
Correct me, showing the well, septic, curb cuts, topography, lot setbacks, and what did you find out on the right of way?
I'm in touch with the county attorney, his office. His name is Robert Durr.
The
And
last name?
DURR.
Okay.
And I expected to hear from him before the meeting, but I did not hear from him today on the final decision. But it's in the working. They're very busy.
So they're the ones doing the research to find out what the right of way is actually for.
Yes, I do have some old deeds that, it shows that there was a right of way. It was sort of like a handshake deal between one farm to another, then there were 50 acres at one time. Now the property lot 29 is only 23.
Are both wells in use?
Correct.
It does appear that the items were addressed that I emailed.
So part of the right of way will end up in lot 1 and part of the right of way will end up in lot 2.
That's how it is on the map
Yeah.
as it stands, but it could have been, we'll just see what the county
Mhm.
attorney says.
Those.
Maybe that would cause an issue with the sale, wouldn't it, you think?
I mean, that's up to whoever buys it,
Yeah.
but from our point of view, it
It's
shouldn't
not
make
an
a
issue
difference.
for us. Yeah.
Carol, can you just come on up here on the app? We talked last
Even in terms of us making a decision, it's not,
about a
An
correction
impact.
on.
I cannot think of a way in which it would be an impact.
yeah,
You can't.
yeah, no, I can't, I mean,
So it's in our record.
So
owner
you
selling
have
it,
the record
it might
that
come
it's
up in the
22
title
from
search
tax
that
records here?
Yeah,
Is
they might not want that.
that what you're saying?
believe that right away the
But
buyer might.
obviously, it's not
Yeah.
4.5 acres. This is the entire,
Oh, the entire, yes.
and then 0. So if you can just put initials after it.
And I'm initialing total acreage of the site is, so this is not correct.
Hang on, what, can you explain it to me, please?
This,
This
yep,
is my daughter now.
I am one of the
know.
trustees.
Okay, yep, that's fine. We're going back and just correcting a couple, and this is common that people misinterpret the acreage of what's actually being disturbed or nothing's. I mean, it's a 2-lot subdivision, but actually no physical digging is
Right.
going on. So the second answer will be 0,
Okay,
and this one is the total acreage.
okay, sure.
And the second one. And there's one on the backside, and it had to do with. Section, it should be a no answer. These are also documented by our engineer on the engineer's report. So
Thank you.
just so that we have this in our actual legal file, that's all.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. So we had our engineer's report. We did get the county comments back. Did you receive a copy of that? From the county, what the county reviewed it?
May I see that?
Okay. Long story, Renee?
Want me to make a copy?
Yes, please. Long story short, they saw no problems with it. There's a lot of whereases on it, but it's,
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Did you get that? You? Did we get copies of that?
was attached with today's.
I didn't see that today's.
Was in today's, was it? Yeah. Does anybody else need a copy?
Could you make two, please?
Two?
Yes, please.
It was in the attachment. That,
Oh, yeah, okay, got it.
a lot of whereases and they didn't have them.
Yeah, the usual. Yeah, there it is. Got it.
While we're waiting, send out the certified notices. Have the receipt or an affidavit saying that they were sent.
I do.
That in our file also, please.
That they were sent or received? We don't need this signature.
Okay, thank you. Jamie, next up.
Well, we should open the, do you want to open the public hearing? Or you want to?
Do
We were used to
seeker
doing,
first.
Okay,
we already did this first and then
okay, thank you.
You're very busy tonight, Renee.
appreciate it. So, okay. Does the board have any questions of applicant before we go further?
No.
Okay. The next part is every subdivision that we do, we have to go through what it's a environmental assessment review. Our nickname is called Seeker. It's a series of 11 questions. I'll read the questions and all of the questions can be answered by either no or small impact or moderate to large impact. And all of these answers are based on the information that we've either had answered or come across and reviewed within the application. So the first question is, will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulations? Any discussion on the board? Otherwise, I believe that we're going to say it was a no or small impact. Number two, will the proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of use of land? Again, no further comments. The answer would be no. Number three, will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community? Again, a little bit other discussion would be no or small impact. Number four, will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of a critical environmental area?
No.
Again, no. Number five, will the proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkway? No.
No.
Number six, will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonably available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities? No, small. Number seven, will the proposed action impact existing public or private water supplies or public or private wastewater treatment utilities?
Nope.
No and no. Eight, will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources? No or small. Number nine, will a proposed action result in an adverse change to natural resources? For example, wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, air quality, flora, and fauna?
No.
No. Will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems? No. And number 11, will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health? No. Based on these findings, answers, I move for a negative declaration. Is there a second?
Second the motion.
Kevin Corson seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? None. Motion carries unanimously.
Is it possible for me to have a copy of that?
Okay, so based on that, I believe at this point that we are in position that we can, I'll make a motion to open public hearing.
I'll
for-
second the motion.
Okay, seconded by Kevin. Any discussion? If none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Public hearing is now open. Anybody from the public have any comments, questions, anything on the subdivision? It's a 2-lot subdivision, essentially breaking off the house into 4.5 acres and then leaving an open, well, with a small barn, basically an open 17.8 acres on Hannaberry Road.
Anything from Facebook or the internet? No?
No.
I'll make a motion. We close the public hearing. Second.
Motion by Kevin, second by Carl. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes unanimously.
Okay.
Okay,
We have one more motion.
one more motion to make.
An important one. Right.
Yes.
Shall I? I make a motion,
Yeah.
we approve the Carroll O'Hara subdivision, part of lot 29, town of Pompey, Onondaga County, New York, based on map ID 13-01-28, dated May 13th, 2021, with revisions number 2 as of 8/13/21. Approve the subdivision as presented. Did I miss anything?
Right away.
I don't think that should be part of it. I don't think it's necessary.
Concern.
Right away,
Basically, what was it? 2 and 4?
but it doesn't impact us.
Yeah, I don't, I mean, it is on the property. I think it was let's see what it is, but it should not impact.
The motion, it may impact the sale of something later on, but that wouldn't impact our,
Okay,
so I don't think that's
okay. Did you,
necessary.
Mary Beth, did you get that?
You can get a copy of the map to get all the numbers and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a first. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Carl. Any further discussion?
Just a point of interest. Ted Carley, he was alive, told me that his grandfather owned, I believe, this land and the land behind it. And he wanted to right away in there in case he ever had to get back before the county might need it for something. And that's why it's in there. I don't know. What it falls there, but-
Okay, any other discussion?
No, and thank you for your patience with us and
Thank you
getting all the
very
things we
much.
requested.
Okay, thank you. I can move forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, just a reminder, there's a number of steps to file the map that
Are on the,
they're on the county website.
okay,
There's signatures you have to get from the county health department. You have to get this board to sign off, and there's a lot of steps. And then it gets filed.
thank you.
Okay, so you'll want to look at that.
Before you go, we do need to actually vote on the motion.
Oh, we did vote.
Oh, we didn't vote?
That was the discussion. So
No.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. if you can hang around so that we can go through what needs to be done in the next step, and also so I can get the copy of this to you.
Sure. Thank you.
So, all right, thank you. One second.
Ellen, you take it.
Renee, could you make a copy of that? This is a fair one. Just
One or two of these. Let's see if I can get one.
Okay, second on the agenda this evening is a preliminary review for Beecher Graham, 4066 Orange Gulf Road, parcel number 007.02-29.1, two-lot subdivision.
Did you say 40? 306.
40, 66, 40.
No, 4, it's 4006.
4006.
Yes.
Okay. Yep, got that. We do have the maps,
Thank
okay,
you.
so, yeah, thank you. So Beecher, let's talk your way through what your proposal is to the board.
Okay, I believe it's just a line change. Or am I wrong?
It is a subdivision.
Okay,
It's
subdivision.
one parcel that
Okay.
you want to make into two parcels.
Okay.
It is a subdivision.
So before you get into that, I have a question. You say in your application that it's taxed as one parcel, but has two surveyed parcels?
Yes.
So what you're asking to do is already,
No.
oh, it's not exactly the same lines?
No, and you're right, they are not the same lines.
Okay.
That's why I said line change. I don't know the terminology. But, yes, so it's a 50+ acre a parcel with a house and a barn on it, and we are lopping off, we'd like to lop off the house and the barn and approximately 6.81 acres, which I believe is reflected on the map.
And intent for.
No development on the remaining acreage. We're not planning on doing anything with it. Or we're not planning on developing it.
So what's the purpose of the change?
We are considering putting a conservation easement on the remainder.
Okay. Are the horses on the 6.81?
No, they're on the remainder, but they are not staying.
I love them. Yeah. Ride my bicycle by there.
And did you have any comments on the map, Steve? You could.
There are a few preliminary final plan requirements, topography. We usually ask for that. Any curb cuts to the lots, like access from the road?
I'm not sure.
Just to the house? Is there a driveway just to the house?
Just to the house, yes.
Not to the other lot? Do you know?
No, there's not one to the other lot, no.
Would that be required?
We usually ask that they be shown.
But if there isn't one,
Yeah, if there isn't any, that's,
no. Yeah,
USGS, that's just an overlay.
yeah, you can use, yes, yep. Doesn't have to be surveyed. Yeah.
Okay, but are you saying that you would like to see that? Or
Just where your driveway is.
with the present, the only driveway we have?
Right,
I
right.
see.
Just so it's on the map, so we know
Okay.
where the driveway is. Yep.
Do you think I could grab a piece of paper so I can write this down?
Here's a
I can
pad.
also,
And
Thank you.
How about the well location?
The well is in the front of the house. You want the location of it? Okay.
Yeah, on the survey.
Oh, okay.
The well
Well,
and septic, they got the vents.
Septic, they got the vent. Yep.
Steve, do you have one of these? You have one of them? Good.
if you have another. I have just one, a scaled down version.
Yep. Got it in memory already.
Okay.
I'm from Connecticut, so the house reminds me of New England, so. Sketched in.
So that's usually- Yeah,
So I vaguely heard someone say topography lines you would like to see as well.
Yes, topography lines, the driveway, which we call that a curb cut, but the driveway, location of the well, location of the septic. Now, you do have the septic vent, which
Right, it's right there.
more than likely the septic is within 10 or 15 feet of that. Usually they run it over to the house
The
or building.
tank or the leach field?
Actually, the tank is what we're looking for,
Okay.
Steve, right? Or the general.
yeah, it's, I mean, usually the leach field's gonna be close to that.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. Also, that is a town road, so
Yes.
we will need the highway superintendent to verify site distance.
To the driveway?
Basically
Well, in
request
other words, if this lot needs to have access,
Oh,
you know,
we need to confirm that it's,
that it's safe.
okay,
that we can, that you could gain access to the lot
okay.
safely.
Do they write, excuse me, do they write you a note? Do they write the board a note? Or do they tell me and I tell you, or how does that work?
It's a good question.
As far as notifying the
We'll-
highway superintendent.
We'll inquire
Highway?
with them.
Oh, you, okay.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna cross that off. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Warren Church. And Handhill Road.
Um,
Back up Warren Golf is,
So Jamie, the is.
or Warren is this.
Ms. Graham has indicated that the larger acreage and so on to possibly go
Ski slope.
at this point remain as is, but, which if I understand right now, horses on it currently or whatever, but it's used as farm.
No, those horses are made of bronze.
Oh. Okay, so it's empty
To do this.
farmland that's currently not being farmed or anything?
Correct.
Okay, but you don't intend to actually put housing, just possibly go into a conservation easement or something?
I'm sorry.
Housing, you're not planning on housing?
No.
Because if you were, we'd have to look at it differently in terms of access
Okay,
and all that. So if we're to sell it for development, we'd need to know,
yes, no development.
is that access adequate if you were to build houses?
I think it's a 200 foot road
If it's-
frontage.
If it's
If it's a
by code.
single family.
In the farm, if it was single family, minimum 2 acres, but it's 200 feet road frontage. If it's
So
farm,
it's
if
fine.
it's,
Yeah.
So
no, if it's farm, our code says 258.
How many feet is it?
50. Correct, if it's farm.
Well,
Farm, yes.
I think we would, that it would, this is for board discussion, it may be adequate at the 200 with the understanding that it would only be suitable for one single family home. should that be the case.
Mhm.
It may go into conservation easement, that's a different story. If they want to farm it, they would have to come for a variance, and I would think that, farming would probably be a use that would
Get a variance.
get a variance.
Yeah.
Because this
Yeah.
is important to Pompey, so I think that it's fine without a variance right now, what's planned.
So it would be that if we were to approve it, we would put those caveats in the record that we're approving it, but in the future,
It may, right, I think.
You'd have to
make it
come-
clear.
yeah, to make it
certainly
clear,
to the
we'll
next
just be in the
schedule. We're
record.
no longer
It's our
here.
acknowledgement that it's.
I plan on being here for a long
6
time. So just to acknowledge that in the future, if you were to sell it to put a house on it, you'd be okay with one house, but if you wanted to farm it, then you would need to get a variance or, because it's not wide enough for farm, it needs to be
So
2
presently it is,
fine,
I think, 236.
236, yeah.
36.
yeah.
Okay, so that's interesting.
You
I
could
didn't realize
narrow-
there was a difference for.
Yeah, it's 250 for a farm, so I suppose you could move the line and make it 250, and then that wipes out the problem.
So,
That would make your 6.81 acres, 6.79 or whatever.
That's a good idea.
so
It would eliminate.
Mhm.
Yeah, then there would be no question. You could just go forward with whatever you're gonna do with it.
if I were to do that, well, how does that impact the process?
It shouldn't slow it down because you have to make some changes on the map anyway. You would just have the surveyor make that one change, just move that line to make it 250.
Okay.
And he's got to put the topography and the other stuff on there anyway, and we know about it now, so
Okay,
that would be the best solution, and it wouldn't slow anything down.
okay.
Right, Sue?
It can head out to county in this format
Sure.
without an issue.
Yeah, because that frontage is really our issue, not the county's issue.
Usually.
Same.
Is it a town road?
Yes.
Yes.
The other thing, a reminder, and this has come up in the past, about subdivision, excessive depth in relation to width shall be avoided, a proportion of 2.5 to 1.
Yeah, we have brought that up in the past, yeah.
So if this is, again, that is not a dictate, it's a suggestion and something that should be discussed among the board.
Yeah. We're just talking about, little narrow strip and then this big wide piece of property. That sometimes we like to avoid that type of subdivision, but it's not a deal breaker, just something we would discuss,
Okay,
and that would be a discussion with us, and based on what the intended use is, I don't think it would be an issue.
Basically, we're just trying to prevent looking forward down the road that if that was developed, that in terms of planning, that's not an ideal situation. If the intent is to go into conservation, stays forever wild, it's not an issue.
okay.
Or if there was one house, it wouldn't be
Or
an issue.
one, right.
If you built, 15 houses or something back there, then that access would make it an issue for services and fire and all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So that shouldn't be a deal breaker. And you know about the notification of neighbors.
I know that I need to do that and I have a list, but I don't really know the process. I think you give me a letter or something, a sort of
Yeah, we have
We're,
a dummy letter or
a dummy letter, yeah.
kind of in transition, Nikki, our town clerk, and once Mary Beth, this is her first
Okay.
meeting. And we're getting her up to speed.
Okay.
Between the two.
Okay,
Obviously, Nikki is not here tonight, so the best bet is to come right back up to Nikki so that she can pull the list of all the neighbors within 1,000 feet.
okay,
They can run the dummy letter for you. Should be mailed out 10 days ahead of, minimally 10 days ahead,
minimally 10 days, okay.
Yeah, certified.
certified.
Yes, okay.
And then what we need back are all the little green receipts.
That are stamped by the post office, you know, they stamp it, tear it off and give you that back.
Okay,
Just bring those so we know you've sent them out.
okay.
Just proof that they've gone
Do
out.
you need to hear from everybody?
No, we do not. If they don't respond, as long as we know the letters went out, that's all we need to know.
And then we take care of sending the public notice out through the newspaper. And all of that part, we've done our public notice. The sooner we get this back with the revisions, the happier we'll all be.
Okay,
So we have time to review it ahead of the meeting preferably.
okay, so, right. So there's still not the final map. It's just the revisions.
That will be the final map if you make the.
It'll be the final map, but not the Mylar or whatever.
No,
Correct.
that's after we.
That's
approve it.
after.
Yeah,
That's Mrs. O'Hara's next step.
yeah.
Okay.
Mylars
That's
and
after you
so
get the approval,
Okay.
then you have the.
Okay.
After the public hearing and the approval of the subdivision, then you get to the Mylar stuff and then all the extra filings.
So my job is then to get the revisions done and the map to you a week before the next planning board with the well, the driveway, the septic, the topography,
Yeah.
and any line change.
You know, Steve, what's interesting is we've made mention of these items on maps, and we used to say the surveyor knows what's supposed to be on there, but we can't say that anymore.
Yeah.
Because it seems more and more we're not getting what you would normally expect from
Right.
a surveyor, because those are things that are just a basic requirement.
Okay.
Topography.
They're in the code.
Was
Yeah, it's in the code, topography and well location and,
that the one that took over for Dave?
Yes, Greenberg.
yeah, so,
So he's new.
yeah, so they should be fairly standard. They should know those things. Why they're not doing them, one of those questions I'll Google later.
If
I'll tell them.
the
Yeah, you may
paper,
want to
but,
take it up with them.
but also if we can get him to email the map.
Okay,
Yeah.
Then we'll have it earlier,
But
right?
Okay.
Steve, if you want to make the comment to get a resolution that he can read it better,
Yeah,
if you wanted.
Yeah, if I could just get a copy of the plan. I have a copy that was within the application. It's like a small photocopy.
oh, yes, okay.
right.
So
But
the-
you want an email copy? You want an email?
Yeah, if you could.
Okay, but you still need the paper copy.
Yeah, Steve is our engineer, so he really advises us if the map is correct.
Okay,
We look at it, but he does the technical review of
analysis
it.
and-
okay.
It tells us exactly. So, you know, essentially, you're gonna ask the surveyor to widen to 250 to, I'd have him do it like 250.9 and then you're safe. You're gonna ask the highway superintendent for site,
Confirm the site distance.
confirm the site
But
distance.
that's,
Yeah, we do that?
no.
Yeah.
well,
Usually, I mean, I usually.
Usually applicant, but
Right, I mean, I could ask him. I have no problem.
Good. All right, you can ask him, then she doesn't have
It's
to.
not
ask.
a condition of subdivision, but it's just good to know.
Just good to know.
Well,
Um,
might be something to consider
Yeah.
if you can't safely access the lot, sure.
Yeah.
yeah.
It won't be a problem. I drive up and down there all the time. My bicycle, it's fine. It's not gonna. be a
All right, well,
problem. You can ask this highway superintendent, but it's
You know, I'm getting used to my country, you
it's not
know?
on a real sharp curve or anything. It's a plenty of sight distance. And so then the well, the septic, the topography, move the line.
Driveway.
That's, yeah, the
Driveway.
driveway, right, where the driveway is. We call it a curb cut, but it's the driveway.
So, do you want your copy before I finalize the paper copies that you're going to get? Or
Yeah,
do you
once he
just,
updates it with all the information we asked for tonight, have him send me a
Okay.
PDF copy. And then I'll review it for quickly to let you know. if
okay,
it's good. or
and
not.
then I'll give them the go-ahead to print up the
Yeah,
paper copies.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, that's perfect. It'll make, won't lose a step. Yeah. I think that's pretty much it,
Okay.
right?
So you'll be back
Tomorrow?
this week,
Okay,
okay?
there's a letter. for the-
Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday?
Okay.
Okay, for the letter in the neighbors' room and files.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, next month, then it would be scheduled for public hearing.
Yep.
Presumably you'd be first on at 6:30. Third Monday of the month,
Right.
which would be September
21st.
Is it? No. Okay. Any other comments, questions?
Oh, one comment I have is you can have the sheet you wrote on, but I'll take the rest of the pad back.
Else?
Move forward, motion to call for the public hearing.
Next meeting.
Did I-
Call for a public hearing and the next meeting. For this meeting.
Did we call for the public hearing?
For this one?
Yes.
It says notified.
Well, yeah, we're calling for the public hearing, right? For the next meeting.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
as in we make a motion for.
Yes.
I make a motion that we call for a public hearing at the
Second.
next meeting in
Second,
September.
on the Beecher Graham subdivision.
Future grant.
I second that. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Public hearing next meeting.
I think it's the first time we've ever done that.
Yeah, I think so too.
Never done that before.
That's why I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
Don't call for the public
No.
hearing?
No, we call it,
Just say
we
it's
call it after
scheduled.
everybody's been notified and we get the mail back. It's the first time we've ever done it the meeting
So it
before.
would be 2 meetings from now then?
No, we just do it,
No.
you know, the applicant sends out the letters and then we put the thing in the mail, you know, in the newspaper and then
We haven't
we put a date on it.
procedurally, we haven't formally done a motion for it, but we like tell her that
And then,
to do this and do this and she'll do.
because if she doesn't do it, then it doesn't go on. Is that why?
If
Well,
they-
we can talk about
if
it.
they
We'll
do it-
talk
if they do it-
procedure.
So everything we've done in the past 40 years has been thrown out now. We gotta get everybody back in.
Usually, if the public hearing is called for.
Yeah. No, we just,
I guess we just. I
we just
learned
make a
two
motion
things.
at that meeting after we've advertised it. We've sent it to the 1,000 yards or 1,000 feet around. Then we advertise it in the newspaper that it's on a certain date.
And see,
And then,
she's saying call for it. We're saying we just do it and then if everything has been met, then we open.
Then if everything's been done, then you open the public hearing.
then we make a motion to open the public hearing at the meeting that the public hearing is going to take
Because
place.
sometimes everything gets done right.
Well,
You can't have it.
So does that work? Or- Well, we did it your
Anyway,
way today.
procedurally, we'll talk.
talk about it.
All right, we did it your way. It didn't hurt.
I mean, listen,
You know.
it's your board, we'll figure it out.
You're the lawyer. You're going to keep us out of trouble. We hope.
Don't know what happened in Lysander.
Yeah, yeah. So, Jamie or Steve, anything for us? Renee, do you have anything?
Do you want them to have their tier 3 solar?
Yes.
I was wondering if they wanted these.
Yes. We have worked and put together basically a reference manual.
You have been very busy tonight.
It's so you will be ready to go. with the first
Educated?
step. Yes, and it puts all of the, like the soil,
Yes, I've been frightened as I
Different-
drive through Manlius with all those.
and John's not here.
This is thicker than this one.
Have you seen those in Manlius, Steve?
Yeah.
And those
So,
those
Yes.
solar farm
Um,
signs?
so
Oh, you're supposed to.
basically,
I
board,
saw
take the time and go through this.
This is coming in the. dump.
If we run out, we'll just make more. Well, there's what the intent was.
What I would-
Yes, we have one.
John, right.
But what the intent is that because there's 2 boards that are going to participate in this process, we want everyone to have the same information. So the town board's going to get the same information in these notebooks that you guys will have. If there's something you want us to add, just let us know. It would be good to, there's some articles in there, but it's mostly the data that you need to make the decision. So.
Because the way the town law is written in there and how it's different things to consider on an application. The thought was to try to get some reference guides and materials and maps, all these things that we have to consider on these applications and try to pull them into one reference area instead of, I find one place and somebody else finds it, what they think is the most current, and it was 2 years prior or whatever, and just a way to review back considerations as we proceed. It would come, an application would come to us first for a conceptual. And if we think it is of merit, then it would be forwarded with basically our blessing of, yeah, it's worth looking at. It meets the parameters or the intent of the law. It would go to the town board, and then they would do an overlay zone consideration. If that's passed, then it comes back to us on an actual site plan.
For site plan review, yeah.
Yeah, so that, you know, the first part, it comes to us and does it satisfy the intent?
We don't have any in the pipeline, do we?
Yes.
Just the one?
Just one.
Is this where you have to do like a payment in lieu of taxes deal with a
Yes.
operator?
The pilot program, yeah.
We don't do
We
it.
get that all the way through. There's
Yeah.
3 phases, like hurdles to get over, so. And you are not only, you're the first reviewers, so, and really, I think the concept site plan review is, to me, the most important piece, so.
So we don't have the ability at our level to stop anything. We're just going to look at it,
You're going to review it thoroughly,
right?
Slow as-
per the provisions in
Right.
the local law, and then make a recommendation, provide the town board with comments, and then the town board can decide whether or not we will move forward with the zoning change. And if we do, then we'll go to the public hearing and then, so there's several steps. The fees have been paid, so they're good to go, I'm pretty sure.
So we're really not doing site plan review on our first
No.
cut. We're just looking at it based on what we wrote in our law.
In the law, and does
And
this,
Does it fit
does
wherever
it
they're going to
fit?
do
Is
it?
it in the view shed? Is it prime land? Is
Right.
it next to 3-phase?
Now, is that
Yeah.
our issue, the 3-phase thing, or is that the applicant's issue? You
That's
can only
their,
put it
it can only be cited where there's.
right where there's 3-phase power. So that's really the applicant's issue.
You know,
And can we
it's-
ask for screening if there is a visual impact?
It's required,
It's under site
Okay.
plan,
required.
the second time that we would see it, but it is required. So,
So we
Anyway.
have a say in what type of screening it is.
Mary Beth, tier 3 is
It's
solar
native.
farms.
Okay.
If you read once you get into the local law on the siting, which is the local law number 1 for this year. And when you get into the conceptual review, it's very specific. They want a landscape architect involved, and they also want, the statute provides that the plantings be native. And it can be, I don't think it has to be, I don't think it's specific as to trees or shrubs or whatever, but it needs to be native, and it needs to be of a certain height eventually after so much growth that it will
so no palm
screen
trees.
properly.
Sue, this discussion about this, really, we don't need to keep everybody
No.
hanging out here for this, do we?
No,
But
I mean, we
wanted
could-
you to have the
we
note.
do that,
we
yeah,
could talk this about this on our own.
yeah, but
I make a
anyway,
motion,
that's the intent, so.
I make a motion. And we adjourn.
Do we have a second?
I can second that.
Oh, Stan, 10 seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Motion
Meeting is now closed. I thank everyone for their input, comments, and their time spent here. And we'll get Mrs. O'Hara here for,
I have.
just make sure that you got everything.
We have a checklist.
Correct.
Sizes.